So Dr. Abdul Hye has nearly 30 years. He has been a scientist in NASA in USA, and he's still based in Houston. And he is also an expert in not just science, but science and Qur'an. And he has written 20 books for those who don't know. And he's very much dedicated to dawah work. Even in Houston, he does street dawah work, and he has some unique ways of doing that. And his presentation attracts quite wide admiration, alhamdulillah. And I had the privilege of personally meeting him when he visited London. A very humble person, and I found him inspiring, alhamdulillah. So I ask our distinguished guest, Dr. Abdul Hye, to make this another wonderful presentation, inshallah.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. So you can see the pages.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Yes, we can see the headline, Black Hole.
Okay, so this is our main topic. I will connect with other things as Brother Yusuf requested. Allah says in the Quran, Al-Furqan, verse number 59, Allah samawati wal ardi wa ma bainahuma fi sittati ayyam. Who created the heavens and the earth and all that is between them in 6 days. So anything we know in the vast universe of Allah, Allah created everything. So this is clear that nothing can happen without the powers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Quran is a book of science. It has many references, over 6,000 verses, and more than 1,000 deal with science. So almost 20% of the Quran has to do with science. So it is very important to understand science and Quran together so we can benefit. Because it is the final revelation from Allah. So you see, the bottom line is that to understand Quran, you need to be smart. It is not that simple. You have to be smart. If you have little knowledge about science, you may be atheist. It is possible you may be confused because your knowledge is very shallow, very little. You have to have a complete information. And if you see all the discoveries from the Quran, the people who did all the discoveries from the Quran are smart people. They are great scientists. They are top of the line scientists. They were able to explain the Quranic verses. So it is a area where you need expert knowledge about science, and it can make you a complete believer. If you have a confusion because your complete information is not complete, that's what we should look at it. There is no confusion. It is that I don't have enough information to understand what Allah is saying in the Quran. That should be our approach. And the more knowledge you have, the more it will be clear to each of us. It is said that whatever information Allah mentioned, scientific information, say 80%, close to 80%, if you take them, they are 100% correct or right or logical. There are logics, there are mentions about scientific aspects of those verses. It is 100% correct. The remaining 20% of the scientific information yet to be discovered. See, many things yet to be discovered, people do not know. Many scientists say that there are information in the Quran which are yet to be discovered. We do not know. We cannot explain yet. It did not happen yet. It has not been discovered yet. And there is not a single error in the Quran. Where is Allah? I think I showed you this picture before last time. So I'm going to share with you. Allah says in the Quran, Kaf, verse number 16, وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ حَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ. Allah is saying that I am even closer to you than your jugular vein. On your neck, you can see the jugular vein. Allah says, I am even closer to you than your own vein. Just to give you some perspective, we have the solar system. The Earth is a part of our solar system on the left, on the top, as you can see. And if you take our solar system, place it on the Milky Way, it will be like a red dot, very small. You cannot even find it. In fact, scientists say that our Milky Way, where our solar system exists, is the smallest Milky Way. It is very small. There are Milky Ways which are so big. If you take our Milky Way, you cannot even find our Milky Way. It is so vast. And then you have galaxy, we have universe, and then we have seven skies, Allah mentioned in the Quran, one into the other. Each of the sky is so vast. Sometimes the example is given that like a keychain. You have a keychain, you went to Sahara Desert and you lost it. Can you find it? It is at that comparison to understand Allah's universe, one into the other. Eventually, we have seven skies. As we know that Prophet ﷺ traveled through the seven skies with Angel Jibrail. And at the end of the seven skies, there is a station of Angel Jibrail, Sidratul Muntaha, when Angel Jibrail says, I cannot go any further. I have to stop here. And he traveled alone. And he went to the Arsh of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, met with him, talked with him. There are many issues they talked with each other, showed him what will happen in the grave, what will happen in the day of judgment, what is the reward of a good deed in the heaven, what is the punishment of a bad deed in the hell. All these things he was shown to him so that he was able to understand, and he was sent back to the earth and he was able to explain. So those are the references we have about the vast universe of Allah, as you can see. Similarly, if we take the same universe, we have seven skies, the Arsh of Allah is there, and there are three few stop signs we have. The worldly life, we all are waiting to leave from the earth. We have a short life here, 50, 60, 100 years. And then you go to the grave, there will be three questions. The day of judgment is 50,000 years. There will be 5 questions. Those questions we should know. In fact, if we cannot answer those questions, we will not be able to move our step. And then the certificate will be distributed from the heaven and hell. People will be able to travel like this. Each of the human will cross these steps. And there is a bridge. Those who will fall from the bridge, they will go to the hell. And that is the hell. You see, these are all unique places. Some people say, where is heaven? Where is hell? They are all unique places. Allah knows where He stationed them. Where is first sky? We don't even know its size. How can you understand the sky 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? It is beyond our imagination. They are so vast. It is just to get the idea. And then those will go to the heaven. And that is the heaven. And there is a connection between hell and heaven. The people who has done sins on the earth, they will be punished in the hell, and eventually they will be transferred in the heaven. And those who do not have faith, they will be in the hell forever. There is no connection for them. And those who will go to the heaven, they will have good things. They can be the neighbor of the Prophet. They will be able to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a hadith narrated by Imam Muslim about it. And Allah will assure you that you can live in the heaven forever. Nobody will ask you to leave. That is the permanent place for the people of the heaven. So these 2 pages are very important, useful, educational, so you can physically see which is where, so you can easily understand about Allah's powers and authorities and creations. And there are references. This gentleman, French scientist, he wrote the book Bible, Quran, and Science. He compared all the scientific facts of Bible and Quran. His mission was to find any mistakes in the Quran And at the end, he says he could not find a single error. He used to live in Saudi Arabia, and he found many mistakes in other holy books, but not Quran. This gentleman, Professor Keith Moore, he's at the University of Toronto. His research area is conception and stages of embryo, how we grow in the mother's womb. That is his research area. And he said, I found everything from Quran. He wrote a book, it's called Developing Human. This book actually is a textbook in medical school around the world. In that book, he has mentioned that whatever I found in the Quran, which was revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the middle of a desert 1500 years back, could not have come from any other source except the Creator, because Creator knows everything. This gentleman, Professor Tejasen, he is at Chiang University, Thailand, Bangkok. His research area is pain receptors, how pain happens. As you know, Allah mentioned in Surah Nisa, verse number 56, about the taste of punishment, Yazukul Azab, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will change the skin of the people of hell and replaced with more sensitive pain receptors. This is the skin we have. All over our body, skin has pain receptors, so we can feel the pain. And this description in the Quran so much impressed by the scientific accuracy that this one verse was sufficient for this scientist to find the truth and become Muslim. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned so many scientific facts in the Quran. And you have to be, as I mentioned, you have to be a top-notch scientist to understand what Allah is saying in the Quran. And he is still there as a good Muslim. So there are many, many discoveries in the Quran. We talked about last time about Quran and science. So there are many, many references in the Quran about science, so which gives a lot of new people understand Allah's discoveries. This is our solar system. As you can see, our Earth is there. Each of them is rotating around the sun. We have asteroid belt, we have Jupiter, we have Saturn, Uranus, Pluto, all these planets. Each of the planet is different. And you'll be amazed to see each of them. Each of them has so many things different, so many unique way they are discovering. It is difficult to understand that how Allah created so many things so different. Good example, Jupiter is the largest planet. It has over 80 moons. The average speed of the wind in Jupiter is over 1500 miles per hour. 1500. And it is so hot, it is about 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. Continuously very hot and very windy. So you cannot imagine living on the earth. If you have 500 miles an hour, the whole city will collapse. New York, London, whatever, they will not exist. So how about 1500? It's a lot of speed. Allah is showing that he is powerful. He can do anything he wants. He can create anything and beyond human understanding. We have a little rain, we got flooded. Like good example right now in Pakistan, in India, there's heavy flooding. Delhi is underwater. Just extra rain came in and it was completely drowned the whole city. So Allah has powers and authority. He can show, he's showing all these examples to understand mankind about his powers and authorities. This is a beautiful picture, as you can see. It happened in 1969 when the astronauts went to the moon and they landed on the moon. So they are standing on the moon looking at the earth. That is the picture. Now the earth to moon, the distance is 250,000 miles. But if you go far away from the earth, say 4 billion miles, where is the earth? If you look at the center of the circle, that is the earth. At a distance of 4 billion miles, it is so small, you cannot even find our earth. So you can see Allah's vast universe. Also, there are They are floating. I show you the belt where the meteoroids are mostly standing. And it is said that most of the meteoroids stay in that belt. But once in a while, it can come down and it is pulled by the gravity of the Earth. When it comes to the atmosphere of the Earth, whole meteoroid burns down. Nothing reaches the Earth. Many times you can see in the sky, meteoroids are burning and falling through the sky or through the atmosphere. But if anything survives, like this is a good example. In the year 2013, this meteoroid survived and it came over Russia with a speed of 20 times the speed of sound, light, as you can see. And scientists estimate that it came with so much force, which is equivalent to 30 nuclear bombs. If you explode 30 nuclear bombs, whatever energy will generate, with that kind of energy, it entered into the atmosphere. Luckily, it hit in area which was not populated. And that is the place where it went into the ground. And scientists actually measured it. It is about 4 to 5 inches in size, as you can see. Small, very small. But it survived through the atmosphere and hit the ground. Now, scientists estimate that if the piece survived, becomes a little bigger, like 150 miles in diameter, it can hit the Earth so hard, it can destroy the Earth like this. Like you can see, this is an example that meteoroid is trying to hit, say, Pacific Ocean, largest ocean on the Earth. It can hit so hard, all the water in the Pacific Ocean will spill over. It will hit so hard, all the whole Earth will be transformed into a ball of fire and it will be burning for billions and billions of years. That is one of the theory that the Mars was similar to the Earth. Scientists believe that, and it was hit by meteoroids, and it was burning for billions of years. Now it is cooled. So if you go there, you might find something unique, which other planets may not have it. So that's how, as you can see, it is hitting the Earth. So you can see that the Earth can be destroyed just like that. Allah is saving us from those destruction. So we are trying to estimate how vast is the universe, how long is 1 billion light years, how long it is. If you go around the Earth, you travel 25,000 miles. And if the light goes around the Earth, it will travel 8 times in 1 second, like that. It already traveled around the Earth 8 times in 1 second. The speed of the light is very high, 186,000 miles per second. This is for a minute, for an hour, for a day, for a month, for a year. If the light keeps on traveling continuously for 1 year, it will travel so many miles. That is called 1 light year. And then we have million light year and billion light years. Most of the NASA discoveries happens in terms of billion light years. So many billion light years away from the Earth. As you can see, the universe is so vast, Allah created and described in the Quran. Now about black hole, we like to share with you, which is something new. To understand the black hole, you have to think big and very far. How big you can think, how far you can think. That defines your understanding about the black hole. Like about 100 years back, Albert Einstein, those days there was no computer. They used to write mathematical models. So he wrote his models and he concluded, based on his knowledge, because in those days, nobody knew that we can go to the moon, we can go to other planets, how vast is the universe, all these seven skies are there. We had no concept. So he came up with the concept that there is a black hole somewhere. He could not prove it because there is no way to find out. And over the years, scientists did research on the black hole theories, that how it is, where it can be, how much powerful it can be, all these things. People did research, analysis on different models of black hole. The problem of the black hole is you cannot see it. It is light goes into the black hole. We all see each other. We can see the sun, we can see the earth, we can see the moon. But for black hole, the light goes into the black hole. So you cannot see the black hole. Just to give an idea, if you take the sun's surface temperature is about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you go to the center of the sun, there's estimate it is as high as 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. You can understand how, if you have 300 degrees Fahrenheit, you can make a kebab, right, in your kitchen. Or how high temperature you can think of. Can you think of 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit? We can't. Our knowledge is so limited. So about the center of the sun is 27 million is difficult to understand. It is so hot. Black hole, I'll show it to you, has a temperature minus even 460. Which it is defined by the scientist, physics, it is called absolute zero, minus 460 degrees Fahrenheit. And high temperature can be billions of degrees. 27 is actually 27 million degrees in the sun is very small. It is not hot enough. Black hole has temperature over billions of degrees Fahrenheit. So now you can imagine how hot it can be. And also, just to understand, like if you live on the earth, your gravity is 1. If you go to the moon, is 1/6. If you go to Mars, 1/3. If you go to the sun, 28. What does it mean? Like if you want to go to Mars, your weight will be 1/3. So if you want to lose weight, go to Mars. That's a good way to save what you call cut down your weight. But if you go to black hole, what is the gravity of the black hole? It is infinity, unlimited. We cannot imagine. We cannot put a number on it because it is so powerful. It can pull everything. Now, how much you know about black hole? Like in the year 2019, in the month of April, it came into reality. How? It took 200 scientists around the world, all the top-notch scientists around the world, from 16 institutions. They worked for 2 years. And they are from 18 countries, with 6 continents. Top-notch scientists. They got together and they used 8 telescopes strategically placed around the earth. Like one of them is Argentina. Top of Argentina has over 3,000 miles high. And it is very, very, what do you call, the air movement is very low. So they were able to use that telescope to collect picture of the black hole. So there are 8 of them strategically placed in 8 places around the earth, by which they were able to collect the information about the black hole. And they collected through radio frequency, they collected those sizes, shapes of the black hole and they combined the data and came up with this picture. It looks like a very simple thing, but it took hard work for them to physically combine those models, data, and come up with this black hole. So this is the picture of a black hole. This is not the actual black hole. Actual black hole you cannot see, but scientists were able to collect the data and came up with this picture. It looks so beautiful. Now, what does it do over there? Just to give an idea, the Earth is 8,000 miles in diameter, and the Sun is 860,000 miles, much bigger. And this black hole, how big it is and how far it is? Scientists say it is 25 billion miles in size. Or in other words, if you collect 3 million Earths, you collect them together, that is the size of this black hole, 25 billion miles. And how far it is, where it is? 30 million trillion miles away from the Earth. You can keep on adding zeros, but you'll not be able to even envision and understand that how Allah created such a piece so far beyond human imagination, and how big it is. We talk about solar system. We are trying, scientists now trying to, NASA even trying to go to like different planets, Mars and other planets. We have a hard time to go even. We don't have rocket, we don't have capability to go to the closest planet from the Earth. But Allah's creations is so vast, so far apart, we have a hard time to understand its size even. And this is one black hole. Scientists now predict there are black holes which are much, much bigger than this one. This is the first time we were able to discover one black hole. There are maybe many, very far, very big. We have no knowledge. Just to give you more about this black hole, it has massive gravity, as I mentioned. Light is pulled. Nothing can stop. It will be pulled through the black hole. Even the light can bend. It is impossible to think light can bend. But this black hole is so powerful, if the light is not around the black hole, it will be pulled and it will go through the black hole. And it has lower temperature as was and high temperature into billions degrees Fahrenheit. We cannot put a number, but in terms of billions of degrees Fahrenheit. Now you can imagine how hot it is. How hot it can be, something which is 1 billion degrees Fahrenheit. So do not underestimate Allah's powers and authority. Some people say, where is Allah's heaven and hell? How hot it is, where it is. Do not underestimate. If you have no knowledge about understanding one black hole, how in the world you're going to understand about Allah's powers and authority? It has even gas burping out from the center. Everything spins with the speed of light. Nothing can be slower than the speed of light. It is continuously spinning and keeping the piece together of this black hole. Now it opened new doors for the scientists. Good example is magnetic force can be unlimited. We do not know. We only know about the Earth. The speed of light, can it be more than the speed of light? Right now we know it is 186,000 miles per second. Can it be more? It's possible. It can be faster than that. Like good example, a lot of people questioned how Prophet ﷺ with Angel Jibril traveled so fast through the 7 skies, all the way to meet Allah. What was his speed? Can it be, speed of light will be slower? See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing each of these discoveries that his powers and authority is so powerful, so vast, it is beyond our imagination. Similarly, how low it can be. We know that science physics says that the lowest temperature is minus 460 degrees Fahrenheit. Can it be lower than that? It's possible. It opened the new frontier, high temperature. How many billions you can think? It can be much, much hotter than you think. How bigger size possible? We only know about this black hole. We know its size, we know how far it is, we know its distance. So there may be more Milky Ways which are much further, much bigger than we can think. Allah created everything, including this black hole. How? Such a massive piece Allah created just by saying this word, kun fayakun. It's so powerful. The more you will look into these pictures, the more you will think about this temperature, high temperature, low temperature, distances, sizes. It will open your mind to understand Him better. Whatever you can think about Allah, His powers and authority is not enough. You are falling short about understanding Allah's powers and authority. He's very, and how He created this thing, kun fayakun. He just said be and it came into existence. What will be its size, where it will be placed, how big it is, how far it is from the earth. All these things has been defined by Allah and placed it instantly without any other help from the angels or anything. He's so powerful. He can do that. So how far is far enough? How far you can think of? Like this is our earth. This is our solar system. This is 1 light year. This is 10,000 light years. You can see up to 10,000 light years using a telescope, like Hubble telescope. And this is 100 million light years. And using the Hubble telescope, you can see part of it. You can see 1 millionth of a piece. Scientists say that if you point your telescope in the vast space, you can only see 1%, 1/100th of a percent. If a Hubble telescope's boundary, 100 million light years, if you take that boundary by circle, whatever you have within that boundary, you can only see 1 part of a millionth, as you can see. Rest you cannot see, you cannot focus, you cannot see that far. But Allah's vast universe continues. This is 1 billion light years. And there are more. Right now we have an object 13 billion light years away from the Earth. It has been identified as the last piece in the vast universe. 13 billion light years away from the Earth. And there may be beyond. We don't have capacity, we don't have telescope, we don't have technology to understand beyond that. Now, how big is the vast sky? What is its size? We have no idea. And how big is the wall? And beyond that, we do not know. It is beyond unknowns, completely unknowns. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran many things about expanding universe. Particular word is called musyun. Something continuously moves and expands. Something continuously moves and expands is called musyun. That's what Allah is describing in this verse. The vast universe is continuously expanding and moving. Stephen Hawking, he was a British scientist. He said that he recently passed away. He said that discovery of the universe is expanding is the greatest intellectual revolution in the 20th century. He thought that is the best thing happened for mankind to understand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about the expansion of the universe in this Quran long before man even learned how to build a telescope. You see, we don't read Quran. We don't understand Quran. We only memorize. We just know few ayats here and there. But there are so many things Allah mentioned in the Quran yet to be discovered, yet to be learned, and so on. There are 7 skies we mentioned. Allah mentioned in Surah Nuh. And this one into the other. One night, Angel Jibrail came to the Prophet and they traveled like this. They came to the junction point, Sidratul Muntaha. Angel Jibrail said, I cannot go any further. Prophet traveled. Allah showed him all the unknowns. What will happen in the grave? What will happen in the day of judgment? What is the reward of a good deed? Punishment of a bad deed? All these things he was described. He was physically shown. There are hadiths, you can see those things. There are physical description. If you do certain act, certain bad deeds, what is the punishment? How the punishment will be delivered? All these things he was shown and he was able to describe when he came back. So as science progresses, Quran will be more clear to the mankind. It is not that simple, as I mentioned. You need to be much smarter than you are. Much, even scientific community, to understand what Allah is saying in different places about vast universe. We cannot even explain a black hole. Just a simple thing. We just found a picture. There may be so many black holes and so many things are there. Quran is the final revelation from Allah. It will serve as a guidance for mankind to understand the Creator. It will help you. It will not confuse you. If you are confused because you don't have enough information, your knowledge is incomplete, so you do not know the complete information Allah mentioned in the Quran. So we have a lot of things to do. We need to explain to mankind about Allah's powers and authority. If we do not do that, reading Quran and knowing all these scientific aspects, if we cannot explain to the mankind, then we fail in our mission. We are the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is the Rahmatul lil Alamin. He is Khatimun Nabiyyin, and we are his followers. It is our job to convey his message. If we do not do that, well, our job is incomplete. Our job is to convey positive information about Islam. People do not know. People worship cows. People worship trees. People have no idea about Allah's universe. They do not know Allah. Very shallow understanding. They make idols. They worship them. All these things. But as a Muslim, we know Allah's powers and authority. This presentation should give us a good understanding about his powers and authority. We should show the mankind about Allah's powers and authorities to make them understand his creations. People are waiting to understand. It is our job to convey. So I request all of us to take this initiative wherever you are to spread the message of Islam everywhere. When Galileo first discovered telescope, as you know, in 1603, he first discovered a telescope and he saw in the sky that the earth is going around the sun. This is the first time. And then he mentioned about his his discovery. So the church community, the Christian church community, they do not believe. They still believe that the sun is going around the earth. So they shut him off. They said, no, we were wrong. You shut yourself, you retired, and they put him in prison, and he died in the prison. He could not explain his theory. Still now, if you go to the Bible from that day, the Bible and the church community, they keep it separate. That, okay, we have nothing to do with, our religion has nothing to do with science. So, okay, if you find some moon somewhere, Mars mission, whatever you are doing scientifically is fine, but it has no link with the Christian belief. And they do not believe that. The whole Christian world is in the dark. We Muslim has this knowledge. We Muslim has these discoveries. We should explain these things to the mankind. If we don't know, who is going to do that? It is our job to convey the message of Islam. And that's how we have Quran. Recent burning of the Quran in Sweden was eye-opening for all of us. As you know, people have misinformation. They do not know. They are in the dark. It is our job to convey the message. So I have a project. I have 3 Quran. English, Spanish, and French. My life is short and limited, so I did what is absolutely necessary. This Quran, I met people of Pentagon in Washington, and they said, they said that we need Quran easy to understand. So I have this project. It took 5 years to make this Quran. It has background information, 25 prophetry, Prophet Mamoon's life, what he accomplished, all this, all the location of the prophets, a map showing all these things. So educational Quran, I call it. So someone read it, they will be able to understand better. So I have English, Spanish, and French. Spanish is the fastest growing population in America. From Miami to San Diego, southern part of USA has the largest population of Spanish people. So I distribute also French. I recently sent to Haiti, French is speaking. So I try to supply as many places as possible. As you can see, and especially my focus in USA is jail. In the jail, there are thousands of Muslims. People are becoming Muslim in the jail. I supply them in the Quran and even in Spanish. So they benefit and they share with each other. That is one option. We have street dawah, like Brother Mamoon mentioned. We have street dawah. We set a table in front of a shopping mall. People come and see Quran, see flyers, information. And many people even take Shahada on this spot. So those are different avenues we have. We have to reach out. It is our job. If you have the knowledge, if you are a good Muslim, share with others anywhere, everywhere. Whether it is to your university, college, to your masjid, to the church, anywhere. Share the information. People do not know, as I mentioned, it is our job to convey the message. And I have that QR code also. You can actually scan it and get the complete Quran in your cell phone, and you can see the Quran. So if you need copy, let us know. We'll send you the QR code. You can see the complete Quran page after page, and you can see how simple way. One of the mission I had was I used to carry dictionary to understand the meaning of the Quran, because many of the translation has words which are very uncommon words, many uncommon words. So we don't have anymore. You have a simple Quran, easy to understand, every verse separately, and all those historical background information are there to educate a person to understand. Our job is to convey positive information about Islam. Who is going to accept it is in the hands of Allah. But our job, wherever you are, these days through Zoom, through anything, to share information, positive information about Islam. Jazakallah khair. Any questions? Brother Mamoon?
Thank you very much, my distinguished presenter, Dr. Abdul Hye. It's educative, it's inspiring, it's informative. It is, but most important thing is what he said towards the end with the last slide, is a very powerful message that if we distribute Quran to everybody in the world that we meet and we know or we don't know, Quran will speak to them and convey the message. And if we are the most articulate people and we tell them about Islam, we cannot match the Quranic word, even though it's translated. It's not the original language of Allah, but it's translated. Still, it is Allah talking to them. So let us take Quran, like Dr. Abdul Hye, to all the places we can. And every person who becomes Muslim, every person who is guided will be sadaqah jariyah for us. And this is the easiest way to gain. In fact, I read hadith where Rasulullah said that there will be so much good added to my book that I will ask Allah, I didn't do so much good. Allah will say, whatever you started, whatever you conveyed, and its impact is coming to you 100%. So if one person is guided, by the distribution of Quran copy. In fact, no other book can match the message of Quran directly to the non-Muslims. Even Muslims, if we can encourage them. May Allah help us to do that. If you have any question or comment, please.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Muhammad Nadatuzaban Hussein from Indonesia.
MashaAllah.
I just want to make one question is for you.
Okay.
Do you think how many verses in Quran we need to explain with the people by science? I mean, the verses indicates we need to explain the Quran from the science side to make people more understand and believe the Quran is from the God, from Allah. Just my question like that. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a presentation. It's called Quran and Science. We did last month.
Yes, you
You
are
can
right.
get a copy. You can share. I collected all the fields: history, geography, biology, botany, oceanography. Any field you name it, it has references in the Quran. And that should be eye-opening. We have so many scientific fields, and you can see the discoveries from Quran in all these fields. That is amazing that so many things has been discovered from Quran in different fields of science. That should be eye-opening for all of us. We should not keep our eye closed, rather take this message and share with others. It cannot happen by coincidence. It has been designed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and people benefit from it. And we should accept the truth, become Muslim. It is our job. I have worked with people who are doing dawah worldwide, everywhere. Number one reason people accept Islam is Quran. Nothing can do better job than the Quran itself. So get a good copy of the Quran. That's why my Quran is very simple. Many other things, I don't want to go into details. It's simple way so that people open it and see the meaning word by word, every verse separately translated. That is important, so that you do not have any conflict. We do not have any clear understanding. Those things are necessary. So we made it as simple as, that's why Pentagon likes it. They use it for their army, air force, navy worldwide. They're not, they know what they're doing. So our job is to convey positive information about Islam. That should be our focus, wherever you are. And whether it is science, Quran, a black hole, you name anything. You can discover anything you want. The next million years, still, it will not be something which contradicts the Quran. Allah knows everything. He knows our black hole, right? We could not even see the black hole. We just have a picture of a beautiful donut. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows about it. He knows how hot it can be, billion degrees. This is designed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have a deep, hard time to understand a billion degrees Fahrenheit, minus 460 degrees Fahrenheit, speed of light. All these things are limiting our knowledge. But Allah's knowledge is limitless. Allah's powers and authority is limitless. So take initiative and spread the message of Islam everywhere. It should be our focus, whether it is Zoom or what you call anywhere we meet people, talk about it, our youngster, prepare them, educate them, show them. So people should not be in the dark. People are still in the dark, worshipping cows, worshipping trees. They do not know who is the Allah is. It is our job to convey. So please take initiative. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Any other question or comment? Certainly you will see that a lot of the scientific world, his Quran and science presentation was focused on that. A lot of Quran's statement was used by the non-Muslim scientists to do research on science, and they achieved fame because of it. And none of the Quranic statements on science so far could be contradicted by scientists when they came to a final conclusion. So that's another, of course, Quran itself challenges. If you can make a surah, make everyone help you. But it hasn't been successful. So that's another challenge. There are lots of challenges in the Quran, but this is one of the challenges. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ. If you are true, then you try and make a surah like this. فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا وَلَنْ تَفْعَلُوا. If you cannot do it, and you will never do it. Allah already predicted it. فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا وَلَنْ تَفْعَلُوا فَاتَّقُوا النَّارِ. Then you fear the fire. So that's a very serious challenge, and it has been standing as challenge like that. So if any other brother or I don't know if there is any sister, please express your thoughts and your appreciation for our esteemed guest. Go ahead, just unmute and speak.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, Brother Tabish first, and then Brother Maruf after. Brother Tabish is from Fiji. He's a Muslim community leader and quite influential, alhamdulillah, and very organized man. Please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. Very good presentation again. That was, I mean, whenever Dr. Abdul Hye presents, I mean, we know it's a very quality presentation that he gives. I think there's a few errors may have been just in the presentation, Doctor. You said that the meteorite that hit Russia was traveling 20 times faster than light.
No,
I think
Sound
20 times faster than sound.
Yes.
Okay.
Not light.
Okay. Chibat. Okay, maybe then something may have been wrong with my hearing. Okay, the other thing that you mentioned was that when you were talking about the heights of the mountain in Argentina, where you had your settler, where you had the observatory. Yes, you said it was 3,000 kilometers high.
No, 3,000 feet.
Sorry, you said 3,000 miles.
Yeah, that was a mistake. It was 3,000 feet. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Meant to be 3,000 feet, but
yes,
he said something else.
Okay, I just thought for the benefit of all the other listeners as well, that we get that correct. Otherwise, people.
All these eight telescopes were very expensive, and they are strategically, they did a lot of research where to put it so they can have a clear view about the deeper universe, vastness of the deeper universe. So Argentina is one of the places out of the 8, one of them is there.
Yeah, height was by mistake mentioned as kilometers or whatever, not feet, but it's good that the Tabish has drawn attention to it so that it's corrected.
Okay.
Jazakumullah khair. Apart from that, I thought it was a very fantastic presentation as usual, Dr. Hye.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Brother Maruf.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, brother Dr. Abdul Hye. Just would like to know that is it true that the Neil Armstrong, after reaching the Mars and he come back, he can hear Azan from the top of the Mars, and then he came back to the Earth. He found that sound of Azan is also found in somewhere in Palestine, and therefore he very attracted to the Islam and get converted to Islam. Another question is,
it's not true. It's not true.
Not true. Okay. And then the other question is, should we carry up a lot of research on other planets than Earth and this like Mars and others, that to find out where the purpose is to find whether there is life in those planets, and is it our interest that we can shift to the other planets in case anything happened to the Earth? Yeah. And the third question, how about the creation of the earth? Is it through the Big Bang theory? Is correct. Thank you very much, Dr. Hye. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, okay. First of all, in Islam, it does not say that there cannot be something else in other places. There is no restriction. If we find something else, some say alien. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
Some alien somewhere outer space.
Yeah.
It doesn't contradict Islam. Everything is in the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We had a hard time to find even a black hole. I just showed you. It's so far, so big. So if you find something in another planet somewhere, something, it should not contradict our belief about Allah's powers and authority. That is always there.
Okay, thank you. And then
Okay, what is the last question?
the last question is about the Big Bang theory. Is it through the Big Bang theory the Earth is being created, and there will be also Qiyamah? A Qiyamah also like a Big Bang theory. Is it possible?
Yeah, in Islam, we do not contradict. We do not contradict scientists what they're saying. There is a Big Bang happened, and the planets formed, galaxies formed, all these little pieces formed, and so on.
Yeah.
We do not contradict. Allah knows the best. He knows He is the supreme power. He knows how He did it. And everything, nothing is beyond the control of Allah. That's what you are saying.
Okay.
He is the supreme power.
Yeah.
And if there is happened, there's some controversy, but we do not want to go into controversy and derail ourselves. Our main mission is to spread Islam.
Yes.
We believe Allah, we will Allah, then think whatever you see, we do not see in the vast universe, everything in the control of Allah.
Yeah.
And He's closer to you than your jugular vein.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you very much. Yeah, that's very nice explanation and very inspiring indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Yes,
Brother
yeah.
Maruf.
Okay.
Brother
Thank you,
Muhammad Hassan Khan raised hand early on.
Yes.
Do you want to say something, Brother Muhammad Hassan Khan? Okay, anybody else would like to comment?
No, I
Please.
just, I couldn't
Oh,
hear that
no,
time.
no,
That's
something.
why I was trying to.
Okay,
I
go
was
ahead.
trying to, I just tried to, I mean, I was not hearing anything. I
Okay.
pressed the right finger. I could
Okay.
hear. Thank you. I followed
Okay.
it through. Thank you very
Okay.
much, Dr. Mamoon. Yes,
Thank
alhamdulillah.
you. Thank you very
Very,
much.
very good presentation.
Alhamdulillah. No, we all enjoyed it and learned a lot from it. Anybody
Yes,
else
yes.
from the audience would like to say something to share? Brother
Can
Abu
I
Bakr?
just add something?
Yes,
Can
yes,
I
Brother
just add
Tabish, go ahead.
something, please, Brother Mamoon? This is in response to Brother Maruf's last question about the Big Bang Theory.
Right.
There's nothing to say that if there was a Big Bang Theory, that it wasn't driven by a supreme force.
Right.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have created the earth. That is still kun fayakun, where He created the whole universe with a
Right.
Big Bang. So it's quite possible because so much matter has come out, is present in the universe. So for it to just appear out of nowhere, the only force that can do it is the supreme force.
Right. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Islam does not in any way contradict the Big Bang Theory, just like Dr. Hye said. It's quite possible for science and Islam. Islam is the only religion which can live with science. And science is still learning from Islam.
Absolutely.
And scientists are still proving the theories and the scientific facts that are stated in the Qur'an. So
right.
It is our minds and our computers and our supercomputers are not enough at the moment to understand all the information that's been given to us in the Quran.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yet to be discovered. There are many things yet to be discovered. Scientists say that.
As
this is why I think
Dr. Abdul Hye said 20% of the Quran scientific statements are still not discovered.
Yes.
It may be a lot more than 20% as well. I mean, that is
well, that That is a statement I think Zakir Naik made it many times in his YouTube. So I use it as a reference.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay.
that's a good way to explain to people who do not know about anything about Quran.
Right.
But this is
Yes,
a
very
good
true,
thing.
very true.
Yes.
Okay. Vice Principal of Islamic College in Hong Kong, Brother Abu Bakr, you have anything to add?
The presentation was very nice, very clear. I have nothing to add. But about this 20%, I just want to know if you can highlight, for example, how about what are the things that not yet explained now? Can I know, for example, one example?
Like good example, this Big Bang Theory. Does it have anything to do with Allah's powers and authority? Sure it is. But how did it happen? Yet to be defined. We do not know how it happened. I know scientists say it happened. Big Bang Theory happened. But how it happened? Those details are not there. That 20% is just like approximate. It is not exactly correct or something. Dr. Zakir Naik, I think he said that it is around 20%. Whatever 80% we already know, it is already clear. No mistakes, no what you call conspiracy, no what you call confusion or anything. But whatever is in the Quran yet to be discovered, like good example, there are many things in the embryology. Good example, we talked last time about embryology. It is a big broad-based field. Many things are being used yet to be discovered. Like good example, DNA. A good example how human beings carry diseases from family to family. How can you stop this thing? Can you identify those genes? Can you separate those genes so that the person will be born, will be defect free? Those kind of things. Those are yet to be analyzed and further discovered. A lot of things happen. Like I live in Houston. Houston is considered the prime place for heart transplant. You know, South Africa did it 1978. One Dr. Bernard, he first did the heart transplant on human. But over the years, in Houston became the center for heart transplant. People actually have a heart problem. They replace the heart with a person's heart who died in accident or something. But now they are getting away from those heart transplants because you don't need to transplant the whole heart. It is a complex machine. So you can only, most of the time, the defect is on your valves. There are two pairs of valves on each heart. So if you can replace those valves, you will have the same pump with a new valve. So you can continue living better life rather than transplant. Transplant has a problem of what you call rejection. Your body do not accept your heart. All kinds of diseases comes, all kinds of medicine has to be added to keep your heart acceptable as a new element in your body. So those things are getting away slowly. And now they are using what you call valves to make your heart better. So those are the advancement of technology. Stem cell research is one of the pioneer area where a lot of things are being developed to benefit mankind. So these are some of the areas, as I mentioned. There was a doctor in Houston. He was the dean of medical science in Houston. Houston has a medical center, is about 1 mile by 1 mile. It has 19 hospitals within the same 1 square mile. Best doctors, best cancer, all the top-notch heart specialist, eye specialist, child specialist, they are here. So they are gradually expanding. And they're saying one of the dean of medical science, he recently moved to Miami, but he made a blanket statement. He said that if we did not have the Quran, human being would never understand embryology. We would never understand the embryology, what Allah is saying about how human beings are processed, what you call multiplied, cells multiply, cells develop and grow and have a complete childbirth, or all these things we'd never understand this thing if Allah would not have described in the Quran.
I see.
So it is really amazing. Someone who is not even a Muslim, but he found that without this Quran would not understand what is the scientific embryology, all these things, details which are developing, is still developing. It will be beyond our human imagination. Today, we go to the hospital, we use those technology. We have a MRI, we have a what you call all kinds of scanning, but we interpret, we know the DNAs, their functions, their roles, all these things are slowly coming up. And as human, we should benefit. We are benefiting it, but we do not appreciate what Allah has said already in the Quran. So it is our job to understand as much as possible and educate public that look, this came from Quran. Without this Quran, we would not be. I would not be alive. Good example. I'd be long gone, because some of the discoveries has not been made, say 20, 30 years back. There is a gentleman, Professor Keith Moore at the University of Toronto. He said, he's still there in Toronto. He said that whatever scientific information in the Quran is given to me, if those information were given to me, say 50 or 30 years back, we could not even explain half of it, because those knowledge was not discovered yet. Now, because of the new discoveries, we are able to explain many things Allah said in the Quran. So do not think it is an old book revealed 1400 years back, but this is the most modern scientific book for people to understand and benefit. Jazakallah khair.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. So, Brother Yusuf, are we ready to conclude?
Yes, please.
Okay, so thank you all. Inshallah, next month, same time, we'll have another webinar, inshallah, with myself or another guest presenter, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Any topic that you feel that should be addressed by experts, then myself, Brother Yusuf, will plan it accordingly, inshallah. You can always request us and in terms of the topics that you would like to be addressed, so we can bring the relevant experts to present it, inshallah. So with those, I say subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum, and may Allah bless you.
Alaikum salam. Thank you so much, Dr. Abdul Hye and Ustadh Mamoon. Thank you.
Thank
See you again, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Wassalam.
Inshallah.